Let's talk about the ideological North Star for Paul Ryan, the person who has guided him in his career and his ideology. Well, it's Ayn Rand, and it's not me saying that, it's Paul Ryan saying it. He said, quote, "The reason I got involved in public service, by and large, if I had to credit one thinker, one person, it would be Ayn Rand." Paul Ryan also said, "Rand makes the best case for the morality of democratic capitalism." I'll get to that morality in a second. And in 2005, he also said, "I grew up on Ayn Rand." So who is Ayn Rand? Well, she's written Atlas Shrugged and Fountainhead, and a ton of conservatives and Republicans idolize her. Well, she thought that all the government programs, Medicare, Social Security, etc., were for the weak, and that being selfish was the best thing you could do. Being altruistic and helping others, she thought was evil. By the way, did she take Social Security later in life? Of course! She did it under the name of her husband so that she wouldn't get caught. Why? She used to smoke 2 packs a day, thought it was a conspiracy theory that you would get cancer from smoking tobacco. She got lung cancer. Oops. And then she needed the money, so she took Social Security, like the fraud that she is. But let me tell you more about Ayn Rand. She said that the idea of having a woman president, even though she herself, of course, is obviously a woman, she said the idea of having a woman president is unspeakable. She said that the Arabs are, quote, as almost totally primitive savages. She said the handicapped are, quote, subnormal children, and that by helping the handicapped, the government wants to bring, quote, bring everybody to the level of the handicapped. What a terrific, swell gal this Ayn Rand is. If you think that's bad, wait till you get a load of her admiration for William Edward Hickman. Well, who's William Hickman? He was a serial killer, literally. Now first, this is pretty tough stuff, but let me describe to you what Hickman did to a 12-year-old girl, and then we'll tell you what Ayn Rand thought of that. Here's Michael Prescott's description of how it went down at the time. At the end of the street, Marion, who was a 12-year-old girl, Marion's corpse was dumped onto the pavement. That's by William Hickman. She was dead. Her legs had been chopped off and her eyes had been wired open to appear as if she was still alive. Her internal organs had been cut out and pieces of her body were later found strewn all over the Los Angeles area. Here's what William Hickman apparently said about that crime and others. Quote, "What is good for me is right." Now, what did Ayn Rand say about William Hickman and that philosophy? Quote, "It was the best and strongest expression of a real man's psychology I have heard." Now, the reason she says that is because according to her ideological principles, she thinks of basically what's called a Superman theory. It doesn't matter. If you can do it, you take it. There's takers and there are makers. Now, ironically, Paul Ryan talks in the same language, by the way, takers and makers. They consider themselves in the maker category and not from taking from the government. But if you take from others, that's perfectly fine. You want to take their 12-year-old daughter and chop her legs off? Totally fine. Hey, that shows you're not bound by society's rules. You're not altruistic. You don't care about helping other people. You're an individual. This was the height of individualism, so Ayn Rand thought, rock and roll. Wow, that guy's a Superman. That guy's a hero. He's a real man. That's a quote. So, Paul Ryan, tell me what you think about Ayn Rand.
And Ayn Rand, more than anyone else, did a fantastic job. The morality of capitalism, the morality of individualism. And this, to me, is what matters most. I think Ayn Rand did the best job of anybody to build a moral case for capitalism. And that morality of capitalism is under assault.
Does that sound like morality to you? Now, look, you can say, hey, Paul Ryan probably didn't know about her support for the serial killer. And I say, all right, you know what, that's probably fair enough. I didn't know about it until recently, okay? But it has that same cult of individualism where no one else matters. The only person that matters is yourself. The highest moral good is selfishness. That he definitely knows about. And that's why he admires her. And it is sick. You can make an argument that is sociopathic to say, I don't give a damn about anybody else. All I care about is me, 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 me. And that is exactly the Republican ideology. That is the Paul Ryan ideology. And that's why they love Ayn Rand. You know what? If you're not sure about where she comes from, don't worry. She's on tape. They interviewed her back when she was alive. Think Progress put this together along with a couple of quotes. Check out what she had to say.
You are out to destroy almost every edifice in the contemporary American way of life, our Judeo-Christian religion, our modified government-regulated capitalism, our rule by the majority will. Other reviews have said that you scorn churches and the concept of God. Are these accurate criticisms?
Yes.
Christ, every important moral leader in man's history, has taught us that we should love one another. Why, then, is this kind of love, in your mind, immoral?
It is immoral if it is a love placed above oneself.
And then if a man is weak or a woman is weak, then he is beyond love?
He certainly does not deserve it. He certainly is beyond.
There are very few of us, then, in this world, by your standards, who are worthy of love.
Unfortunately, yes, very few.
Because it's that kind of thinking, that kind of writing that is sorely needed right now.